Hello, Empress Rising Collective. It's Ali here with a reading for Divine Feminine and Divine Union, Sacred Union energies. So looking into the path of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, looking into the energies around twin flames, divine counterparts, higher soulmates, soul contracts. So there's a lot finalizing, closing out around that, and a shuffling of timelines. We have some karmic balancing closing out. So what happens when we go through these really big energy shifts and transitions, astrological transits? I'm not an astrologer, but at the moment we have some really big energies moving through. And so for those on the sacred union pathway, divine feminine, divine masculine, who have been through intense soul contract activations, destined alignments, karmic balancing, those kind of things. So we have divine counterparts who will be doing this work in relationship. Generally we'll go through really big 111 I've just seen, so that's confirmation. Really we'll be going through those big healings along the way and learning and closing out karmic cycles through relationships. And the reason for that is because on a spiritual level, you are here on a soul level to come into a new paradigm and a higher way of relating in relationships. So to lift us out of that 3D way of relating, which is surface level 3D relationships that are based more in the lower chakras, in that lust and trauma bonding, karmic cycles, things like that. So take what resonates, leave the rest. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. We're going to take a look at Divine Feminine first and see where Divine Feminine Collective is sitting. We might have a look at the masculine energies if they're coming through, and we'll look at the overall Divine Union or Sacred Union energies. Only highest divine resonance, only highest light and love allowed into this reading. Highest truth through the Creator for collective feminine and masculine energies. We're looking at divine feminine expression of energies. I have pulled some cards to start off. Divine feminine, you, straight off the bat, healing. So getting your energy back. You've been through an intense time. The last 6 months has been quite an accelerated awakening and closing out of some really long held cycles. We're looking at the last 15 years now closing out. The karma has now been completed, and you'd be feeling really quite tired at the moment. So just healing, getting your energy back, restoring your health. Yeah, so when we go through these big healings and lessons and spiritual awakenings, it's exhausting. It takes a lot of energy to move through all of that. And so we tend to become quite depleted. Our health takes a hit. So divine feminine healing at the moment, coming back into confidence, being able to rely on yourself, back into your own energy. So pulling your energy right back in. And then we have strength. I'm going to cover her up because she's got some bits out. Strength, power, and endurance. So really leaning into that inner strength. And enduring the void space at the moment where you're in between timelines. So we have direction. Okay, so the path coming in, movement towards desires and guidance. Movement towards desires and guidance. I've cut my finger, I've got some blood. So movement towards desires and guidance coming in around that. Okay, so listen to your intuition. Safety. Freedom from hurt. So learning how to protect yourself. So learning how to have boundaries, learning how to self-soothe and hold yourself in your own energy. It's time to move out of that. And we have home, safe haven, comfort zone. Okay, so coming back into home within you, within your energy. She's touching her heart there. So home within the heart. And look how abundant that is. Look at the energy. When you look at the difference, there's a real duality here in between these energies. So she's been through it there. She's got battle scars. Okay, but she's actually being held. What I can gather from this is she's been to battle with this vicious predator, this tiger, okay? So that's quite a dangerous animal. So she's actually being held and finding safety in that, okay? The battle's over, all right? But look at her here, really coming into her own abundant energy, peaceful, abundant energy. Things are growing here around her, off her energy. Here, there was nothing. It was stripped back, stripped bare, okay? So this is coming back into that, coming home to yourself in your own energy, all right? The guidance is coming in, okay? But the rest is required at the moment, healing and coming back into your own energy, divine feminine. So let's please, spirit, some higher guidance around, no, we'll finish off with those ones, some higher guidance around divine feminine, please, which is tarot. Tarot. You've really been through a karmic exam. It's really closed out something for you, divine feminine. Like you're coming into your own energy, into your power, into your mastery, and not giving your power away anymore. You've left a few people in the dust, that's for sure. They can't come with you. They can't come with you. You've done the healing work. Let's see, divine feminine, please. Okay. So we have a 5 of Cups here in the reverse. So coming out of heartbreak, coming out of that, like spilled, all of these spilled cups, coming out of, yeah, disappointment into the sun. So success here. So moving out of this, you know, nothing's working, I'm disappointed, I didn't get what I want, my cups are empty. Success coming in, 3 of Wands, moving forward, okay? So going on a new journey, going on a new adventure, expanding your horizons. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, that's interesting. 10 of Cups in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in the reverse, 3 of Cups. Okay, all right. So Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in the reverse, all right? Blocked. New start, abundance, happiness, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, all blocked, not coming in, okay? Because the people around you, the energies you were connected to, we're not aligning with that, okay? So there's a realignment now, okay? Coming in fast. 3 of Cups, celebration, all right? So the 3 of Cups is about who's working with you, who's collaborating with you, who's in your corner, who's clapping for you, who's really supporting you, okay? This is all going to come in fast. There's communication, all right? You can't have this. You can't have this solid, stable foundation, abundance, happiness, with people who are not working with you, people who won't compromise, people who are jealous, people who are competing with you, people who don't have their own solid foundation or don't want to do the work or don't want to match your energy. Yeah, see, solid, stable foundation, 4 of Wands. Okay, so this is a solid, stable foundation. That is everyone working together. There's harmony, there's balance in that. Okay. Page of Cups in reverse. What else does divine feminine need to know? Emperor coming in. All right, so that could be making a decision. It could be like the Emperor is like makes decisions for the greater good. All right, this could be someone coming in that energy, but it also could be the energy within you. It could be the inner masculine within you actually stepping into that for yourself and making a decision for the greater good. Yeah. 5 of Swords, there's conflict around that. Page of Swords. Somebody does not like that, or people do not like that for you. You're getting some pushback around that. King of Wands. Combative, yeah? Combative. Okay, so there's people around you that you've been connected to that are not going to like you moving forward, that are not going to like you making a decision to step forward into this stability, to turn this around where it has not been fulfilled for you, where you haven't achieved this. You're moving forward to turn that around, to create that for yourself, to create that stability and security for yourself. Okay, in this energy within you. Okay, that's you in that energy. That's an inner union. Okay, so where you've outsourced that, okay, and people have let you down, all right, where people have not worked with you or have not made decisions, have left you in confusion and heartbreak, have been more for themselves than for the greater good, yeah, or have been dominating your life, dominating your world. Here's you taking your power back because you have a greater responsibility, divine feminine. You have a responsibility to yourself. If you have children, you have responsibility to your children. If it's not that, or it could be as well a community because of the path that you're on, your spiritual path. Okay, so there's a higher responsibility here where this is required. Okay, this type of energy is required to move forward in that. Okay, so the decision needs to be made for the greater good, and that's for the greater energetic grid. All right, because of the codes that you carry, because of the energy that you carry, because of your spiritual evolution, your soul path, and what you're here to do on a soul level. Okay, you're going to have people push back against that, but this King of Wands is in and out and quite combative and like aggressive, and can be warlike, can be like quite what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. What is it, Spirit? Combative. It's a push and check. Cocky, like cocky. Oh, I'm gonna make it hard for you. Yeah, but it's an in and out energy. In and out energy. He's quite self-serving, right? Doesn't see outside of himself. Yeah, didn't take the path. This person did not take the path, or these people, whoever it is in your world and on your journey. There's someone or a group of people around you that did not take this path with you, did not move forward, did not take action, did not go through the healing, did not take the contract, left your cup empty. Okay, that's not going on the journey, not taking the journey. Didn't leave behind what they needed to leave behind to move forward with you. Thought they could get away with it. Seven of Swords, Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, block, block, block. So you're now getting balance and harmony. Six of Cups, this is now balancing out. This is you balancing out internally in your energies. All right, finding some peace and some harmony. Okay, there's water in that. And we have that. Reminds me of twins, right? It kind of reminds me of the internal, like you have the inner child aspects of the little boy and the little girl working together side by side harmoniously. So that's an internal energy I feel in the feminine energies, where it's like, well, I'm just going to sit in this and find some balance within myself. Just sit in for a while. Fill in those cups for yourself. Fill in those cups for yourself where they weren't filled. What else does Divine Feminine need to know? Juggled you. Someone juggled you. Imbalance. Brought you imbalance. Okay. So all you've had is imbalance in your world. Not equal give and take. No reciprocity. No wish fulfillment. All in the reverse. Nine of Cups. No contentment. Everything you desired, wished for, it hasn't come into fruition. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. Someone held on to, I couldn't gather which way this was going, whether this was in you, within you, or an external energy. Like I'm like, is that a sit tight? This Four of Pentacles, this is the energy of someone holding on to what they've got or what they had and did not want to budge. That's a stubborn energy. Don't want to see it. I'm hanging on to the pentacle I've got here. Look at this. He's sitting on it. He's holding on tight. He's like, nah, look at the expression on the face. No, I'm doing what I'm doing here. I'm going to hang on to this. And Knight of Cups in the reverse. Did not want to give. No giving. Okay? Didn't want to give a cup. Too busy hanging on to these pentacles. The old way. What I've got. What I've already built. What I already know. Seven of Wands. Conflict. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, everywhere you tried to build, everywhere you tried to move forward and build, there's conflict, just conflict. So boundaries are required. Boundaries. What else does Divine Feminine need to know? Queen of Swords, boundaries. Just as I said, boundaries, who falls out? The Queen of Swords. Boundaries. She is no nonsense, takes no shit. She doesn't get emotional about it. The thing is, if you want to piss off an Empress or a Queen of Cups, that's what you get. Like, that's what you get. A Queen of Swords. Okay? And that's when when a Divine Feminine, when her cup's not filled, right? When she has not been nurtured and met and there's no reciprocity, you'll get a Queen of Swords, right? She'll turn Queen of Swords. So a Divine Feminine, you will get what you give to a Divine Feminine, right? An Empress. A woman, an awakened woman, a woman on a spiritual path that's moving through this sacred union journey, whatever is given to her, she will mirror back. Okay? So there's that kind of detached energy. All right? In a healthy way. That's in a healthy way. There's the transformation, and this is what Divine Feminine needed to learn. Yeah? There's a lot of hesitation. There has been a lot of hesitation around stepping into this energy for Divine Feminine, and a lot of that has been the influence of the spiritual community, the New Age community, the twin flame, like divine, the whole thing around Divine Feminine and those influences, and polarity coaching and those kind of things. So there's been a lot of stuff out there about femininity and Divine Feminine, and particularly in the twin flame energy, like, oh yes, the feminine is soft and receptive, and you know, like all of that. And it's kind of been a pendulum swing where it's gone into the extreme and into imbalance for Divine Feminine. And so the last 6 months has been about coming back into some balance around that, and we've seen the dark feminine aspect rise over this eclipse, this last eclipse in particular. We really saw Divine Feminine access those more forbidden or disowned aspects of femininity. And so this is where the balancing needed to occur, and that's to protect that softness and receptivity and the magic that Divine Feminine is. Cannot make it up. There's the Two of Cups. So there you go. So whoever comes into your energy, Divine Feminine, must match. It must be equal give and take. It must be reciprocity. It must be balanced. Yeah? I pour into you, you pour into me, and we keep it equal and balanced and abundant. All right? There's no one else. See that there? Okay, that's a higher commitment. Could be a marriage. But spiritually speaking, these are two people who are committed to each other, who see no one else. There's no one else interfering in this. They're fully committed. They're pouring all of their energy into those cups and balancing. She pours her energy into his cup. He pours his energy into her cup. Everybody's giving and receiving the same amount. Okay, that's a Two of Cups. That's a higher divine union. Where that has been justice in the reverse and you have not received that, here's the Page of Cups, the Chariot, there's a hold on that, Temperance, the Tower, changing foundation, heartbreak, letting go, moving away from conflict, releasing burden. Okay, so 10 of Wands, putting down the burden. There's a complete and utter change in your foundation, and that's fated. That's fated. Okay, so that spirit is in control of that. And there's your blessing, your wish fulfillment, moving forward into your higher alignment, your destiny. Okay, that's healing and moving forward, because you are the star, you are the blessing. Okay, that is you. If someone comes into your world and brings you the moon, brings you confusion and illusion and delusion and darkness and shadow and, you know, emotional instability, like, that's it. Blocking, not communicating, not listening to their intuition. Like the Empress in reverse, Knight of what? Yeah, see, coming in, throws the Empress, puts the Empress in reverse, throws the Empress upside down, comes in and out, aggressive energy, doesn't follow through, puts you in the wounded warrior. See, that's you there. Having to defend yourself. You've been through it and then having to defend yourself. Magician, manifesting. King of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's this energy. So there's this energy, and this is a repeating pattern where you're manifesting, right? You know what you want, and you are manifesting balance in your world and abundance, prosperity, and moving forward. Then you get King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and a Knight of Swords comes in and out in mental energy in the head, right? Doesn't give anything solid or stable, impulsive, dips in and out, rushes in, dips in, goes into the head, doesn't give any cups, doesn't give any pentacles, and then bails out. That's closed out. 10 of Swords, done. Okay, so what is Divine Feminine got coming in? A King of Cups. A King of Cups. There's the cups. So I just spoke of cups. So reviewing that now, reviewing, having a look at what you've built so far, healing. There's options and balance coming in. So 7 of Cups. Options will be opening up for you, whether it's love, career, opportunities that come your way for connection in friendship, business, whatever it is, a home, yeah, Queen of Cups. So so balancing it out and opportunities coming in off the back of your healing. So resting, really getting back in your energy, finding balance, okay, and learning where to put your energy, when to give to people or situations, and when to pull back and pull your energy back in, learning what to give to, which options to take, trusting your intuition. And here's the Queen of Cups in her energy, in her softness. King of Swords in reverse, and that's ordained. Yeah, the world. Okay, Spirit stepped in. So that's divine order, and that's the world. That's closed out the cycle and completely reset your path. You're done. You're guarded. You're absolutely guarded, and you should be. To anyone that's going to come in and bring you karma, or anyone that did come out in the reverse. So anyone who's still in their cycles, karmic cycles, or hasn't closed out their past, or is still looping in those cycles, you're like, nah, no way. No way. All right, you go away, you deal with your karma, you close it out, and come back and talk to me then. Really in your power. Look at that. Queen of Pentacles. Stable, nurturing, loving, just in the home, in your doing your thing, growing things, stable and secure. Looking after yourself, looking after your home, looking after whoever it is that you're charged with looking after, whether it's kids or animals. New path. Yeah, victory. Moving forward, new path. little bit of stress. Okay, but putting you into independence. So a little bit of stress, a little bit of shadow work coming through. That's the Oh, okay, this is the masculine energy. Okay, so there's masculine energy. Here's the masculine. Hello, masculine. So we've got Nine of Swords, shadow. Okay, so this is whoever didn't close out the cycle. I feel like this is a general... Page of Wands, didn't move forward. So this is this person who didn't move forward with you. That's them. Nine of Swords, shadow, toxic. Page of Wands, did not take the path, didn't move forward. All right, and really feeling it now and kicking themselves, because look at you, you're independent. Okay, independent, successful in your own energy. All right, Ten of Pentacles. There it is. We'll leave it there for Divine Feminine. So 10 of Pentacles, that's you moving forward. Nine of Pentacles into the 10 of Pentacles, okay? All right, so that's your abundance, that's your stability, security, that's your home, your community, your people. So there's an abundance there, and balance and reciprocity of love, connection, support, like financial abundance, stability in, you know, your space. That's ultimate generational wealth, a legacy. Yeah, okay, so that's you, Divine Feminine. That's where you're headed. Okay, and you'll only align with people who support that, and we'll put the work in. There's the transformation. Okay, let's close out for Divine Feminine, and then we'll see what comes through for Divine Masculine. Okay, we'll close out for Divine Feminine with Priestess of the Light Oracle. Any message for Divine Feminine, please? This is the thing on this journey, is these soul contracts come in, right? And the masculines that are activated into that so many of them didn't take the contract. Like there's this whole twin flame thing where you got people that are hanging, oh, he's my twin flame, or, you know, like hanging on to, that's my person, or that's, you know, my soulmate or my divine counterpart. Like a lot of these masculines did not take the contract because they couldn't close out the karma, or they got stuck under spiritual attack, dark magic. And the thing is, when you leave doors open, so if you go into a higher commitment with a higher divine counterpart, and you've got a path and a mission with that person, and, you know, you have to commit, right? And everything will come at you, and you'll have to close out your old, you have to close out your past, you have to close out old energy, you have to close out old connections, you have to deal with your karma, confront things and close it out, so that your energy is then clear to move into that alignment with your higher path and with your higher divine counterpart. And the thing is, a lot of feminines go into that, do the healing, move through that, and a lot of masculines just haven't done the work and failed the contract. I've had it happen to me. So many have had it happen, right? Like, this is the thing where we talk about like higher divine union and karmic. So you can choose, if you like are on the journey of divine union or sacred union, you can go into a connection with someone and you can choose karmic. Like, it doesn't matter if they're your higher divine counterpart or twin or blah or whatever, you can label it whatever. You can still choose to be karmic. You can still choose to go back to your old karmic cycles. And a lot of these men do. They think, oh yeah, okay, I've got this now, this is great, and they continue in their karmic cycles. They don't do the healing. The thing is, if you choose karmic, you got to then go back and play out your karma in a bigger way until you move through it, confront it, move through it, close it out. So divine feminine over here is like, well, I did everything I was supposed to do. I listened to spirit. I confronted everything. I went through the healings. I did it all. Okay, and now it's time to move forward. That contract's not been fulfilled. This is the thing. These masculines now have to go back around and do the work and face the karma and close it out. So if you're going through this and you thought that you've been through that and you've had soul contracts, you've had those activations, there's a convergence of timelines now, and an actual, like, you can see the timelines actually start to shuffle with all these contracts shuffling. So if somebody if you go through an ascension and you up level in your frequency of vibration, and your person or your counterpart or whoever you're in connection with, whether it's a friend, a lover, your family members, a business partner, or like anything, your community, like if they no longer match your frequency and you've been through that upgrade, you've been through, the lesson and the ascension, spiritual ascension, right? If they no longer match your frequency, that's it. The contract's done. It's over, all right? So they've now got to go off and go through what they didn't go through when you were going through it, right? If they come back around then in the same frequency, then that contract might come back around, okay? But it might be another contract that comes in. So these contracts are not guaranteed. And I think the thing is, a lot of people think, oh yes, this is a higher divine union. It's a spiritual connection, and oh, this is my twin and blah, or whatever. Like, there's a difference between twins and divine counterparts and soulmates. But doesn't matter what it is. Like, you can't just attach to that and go, it's in the bag, all right? You have to align to a frequency to be able to move forward in that. And so your connection has to be primarily with the divine, with source, okay? It needs to be those connections when they move forward and they're successful and on the mission, that each of those people are connected in their higher alignment and they're on the same frequency within themselves, which means they come into alignment and then they create. Yeah. Otherwise, if you're trying to move into a higher frequency, or you do move into a higher frequency, and the person you're connected with, or whoever you're connected with, whatever you're connected with, is draining you, you're not going to move forward in that higher mission. You end up taking on their karma. So spirit will remove you from that situation. So opening heart, 11. Divine feminine, opening heart, deep connections, water blessings. Deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. So yeah, feminine's releasing some heavy emotion at the moment, moving through some heartbreak. Abundance, God. In depletion at the moment, yeah? Like abundance in the reverse, okay? Because this healing, there's still some residual stuff to let go of, okay? So opening heart, deep emotion. So there is a heart opening coming in, okay? Setting boundaries. There is a heart opening coming in, okay? So this is going to take you then into this abundance, okay? So you're not going to magnetize in those higher alignments or higher 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles situation, right? Which is your destiny. You're not going to magnetize that in while you're still holding on to past heartbreak, hurt, wounding. So there is a little bit to go through. It'll move fast. Okay, so once you move through that healing, that's what then brings in guide. Okay, so that's what opens up your intuition, because the more raw and open and vulnerable you are, and the less weight, emotional weight you're carrying from your past, the more open and clear your vessel is, your energy body is, to allow in those activations, upgrades, vibrational alignments, and your intuitive guidance, okay? So that's what's going to take you into Union, divine masculine, electric, active power. Okay, so whether that's within you, that's in a union, that's you coming into that. Okay, so if you move through that, that's when this will come in, all right, in your energy field within you. And that's when we attract in that energy. Okay, as within, so without. All right, then that's when everything flips. Okay, as within, so without. So let's have a look now at the masculine energies, please. Divine masculine. Consciousness of lack. Okay. So yeah, masculine energy has been in this paradigm shift and struggling to break free of the scarcity mindset, okay, and the attachment. These men, they're lost, I tell ya. These men that they're in this dark night of the soul moving through right now for a big wave of them. Playing it safe, see? Consciousness of lack, so playing it safe, so not giving their all. Yeah, there's fear there. It's like holding back, right? Holding back because it's like, I'm just going to sit here in what I know. I'm going to do what I know and move forward in a way that keeps me feeling safe, not stepping into the unknown, see? Not taking the journey. So here's where the mirroring is happening, because there's a grief that has to be released and things that have to be let go from the past. And this is the reason that the masculine is in this mindset, okay, because of past experiences that are unhealed and this belief structure that everything good leaves, everything can be taken away, yeah, whether it's status, love, wealth, stability, security, sexual connection is a big one that's moving through at the moment. All right, so this is all moving through the masculine energies right now, in feeling this lack and in this attachment. Okay, so playing it safe, needing to move through some kind of process to integrate the lessons of the past. Okay, so to let go of the past and actually process the loss and the grief from those past situations that are holding them hostage. Friends and colleagues, who they're around, who is around them, who they're connected to, who they've got in their energy, who they have had in their energy that they haven't closed out. So the thing is, you might have been connected to people. You might have friends who you've been friends for, you know, like forever, since childhood or whatever. And you might not see them very often anymore. And you think, oh yeah, well, that's all done and closed out. But you still open and available to those people, and those people are still in your energy field. You might still have the influence of, if they're long-term connections or if particularly family, right? Whoever have been in your corner and supporting you, or whoever you've taken advice from or been supported by or relied on to mirror your sense of self, for a feeling of belonging, okay? Whoever that is in your field, still, that's going to be influencing you, whether you're in connection with these people or not, or whether you've kind of moved away in the physical. There's still a processing that needs to happen to release those old connections. And it doesn't mean letting go of people in the physical. It means energetically shifting, letting go of that frequency or the attachment to those people. The vast universe, yeah, see, that's quantum energy, understanding how quantum energy works. And when you move through that energetic process and let go of people, let go of, your safety net, then you kind of sit in this quantum void. And that's how we're manifesting newer ways of being, ways of operating in the world, the healing light, see? So that's all got to be healed. What else, dear masculine? Anything else? Courage. See? Finding the courage to move through this. Yeah, see, he's about to go on a journey. It's about to go on a journey. There's a very pagey energy there, like very pagey energy. It's like, okay, I know I've got to do this. I've got to find my way. Don't know where I'm going. Don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm in my armor though. I'm battle ready. But it's not really a battle because it's not ominous. It's an inner, it's an inward battle, an inward journey. So just standing at the precipice of that. Optimism. And with that page energy. Family, friends, and guides. Yeah, looking for some new support, or shifting belief structures around what it is to be connected or be supported, or where your influence comes from. So possibly even connecting, coming up out of the 3D and connecting in with spirit guides or higher vibrational connection within, or could even be getting some healing, spiritual advice or guidance or healing. A loving woman. So a lot of masculines going for looking for support from the divine feminine, not in a sexual way. This is the mother wound. Okay, so learning the difference between learning a new energy, learning how to engage with a healthy feminine energy, and being able to actually be in connection with that, to receive the healing that comes from that. All right, so that's connecting with the divine feminine energy, where that's blown out in relationships, or he hasn't been able to receive that, or hasn't been able to connect in integrity with that energy because it's so unfamiliar. Okay, so this is where the masculine's going on a journey to find that energy, and connect with that, learn to connect with that in a way that does not drain. And you can't do that in relationship. You can't do that when you're in connection. You drain the other's energy. Okay, so this is what divine feminine's been through with the masculines. The masculine who has not been through that process yet to understand this energy. Dark thoughts. Deception, self-delusion, devil energy. See, dark thoughts, deception. Karmic behavior. All right, karmic behavior. Fucked it up. That's so, like, this is straight up fucked it up. Like, fucked up the connection, fucked up the contract. Ascended masters, see, support coming in now from the higher realms to show them. Okay, so divine masculine is probably getting dream communication at the moment. I would say yes, that's a yes. Ascended masters, this communication might be synchronicity, signs, might be seeing a lot. Seeing a lot reflected in their physical world, but this is the ascended masters trying to guide them, trying to show them, trying to pull them out of this self-delusion. They've got to listen. They've got to listen. Fragmented in their energy. Fragmented energy. Family. Dealing with family of origin issues, dealing with dysfunction, like looking at dysfunction in the mother-father wound, like looking at their childhood dynamics. So like really looking at who they've been around, who they've been taking advice from, and who their support network is. looking at how, like, just observing or being shown, actually, yes, that is being shown, ascended masters. So being put in situations where they're being shown where their energy is being fragmented. So where they feel, where they used to feel a sense of familiarity or comfort is no longer comfortable. So looking at the definition of this, you know, family, it's like moving from, like, shifting perspective on what is family to me. Because the thing is, when we're young, our family is our family, our mum and dad, our brothers, our sisters, that's our family of origin. But as we come into higher divine, you know, connections and into commitment and mission and path, you know, our definition of that changes, right? Because we then, if we have children, we have, you know, a partnership and children in a home, our definition of family, or how we view family, our primary family, that has to shift and change, right? Because our family is now our partner and our children. All right, we still have our extended family, okay, but we have to then shift accordingly, and our energy shifts around that, and priorities and things like that. Also soul family, okay, so looking at, if there's not children, if it's not connection, like partnership and children, it could be the masculines looking at, you know, who they've how they've spent their lives and how they were programmed to be in connection, and now looking at how different connections make them feel, or different groups or associations or communities, right? It's looking at what fragments my energy, what feels like home, what feels like family to me, where do I want to be, where do I want to align to. Yeah, so you might be looking at, you know, vibrational alignment in friendships and things like that. It's like, well, okay, I viewed these people as my family. They might have a group of friends like that they consider family that they no longer vibe with or no longer resonate with, or they've realized that that's actually really not good for me because I'm overgiving, or they're, you know, like their way of being is, you know, no longer a match, right? So looking at different connections, different ways of relating, and looking at how different connections impact their nervous system and their energy, right? What's actually good for me? What is good for me, even though it feels unfamiliar? Okay, and there's a fear there around being in the in-between, and this is where divine feminines move through that and going, yeah, no, I'm gonna cut anything out of my life that does not allow me to have a regulated nervous system. So intuition and manifestation, all right, so getting clear on what he wants, divine masculine, yeah, look at that, kindred partnership, deciding this is what I want, okay? But the thing is, when you decide that that's what you want, you have to align to that, dear masculine, and you have to align your energy to it and close out your old karmic cycles and come into the vibration that matches that and holds that. Yeah, that's the Two of Cups energy. There's the loving man. Yeah, see, look, he was in the reverse. Okay, you can't come into that if you're in the reverse. If you're not, like, that's like King of Cups, right? Is you know, giving, warm, kind, compassionate, supportive, stable, secure, you know, healed, having, you know, done the work, vulnerable, open-hearted, gentle, soft, tender, all right? Can't come into that from this imbalanced energy if he's in the reverse, right? If you're in fragmented energy, that can't support, fragmented energy can't come into that. That cannot support fragmented energy. The frequency will blow out and that's it, okay? I got a feeling there's a few masculines watching. So yeah, move through it. There's no judgment. It's brutal right now. Just move through it. Move through it. Be honest. Be in truth with yourself. Like, we've all been there. Milestone. There you go. So achieving a milestone, developmental milestone, I just heard. Actually achieving a developmental milestone that was missed when growing up, okay, because of dysfunction in your family dynamics, where you didn't have the guidance or the ideal environment to move into your full, mature, masculine energy. Okay, and this could be, yeah, victim mentality. See? Victim mentality, right? Not accountable, struggle with shame, guilt, overgiving, the mother wound, feeling like nothing's ever enough. Yeah, right. That's a wounded energy. One more, please. And we'll take some tarot because this reading is going on a bit. Yeah, blocked. Joy is fun. Okay. No joy, no fun, conflict, nothing but conflict in your life. Blocked, new beginning, nothing moving forward. Why? Because you got to go on the inward journey and discover some truth within yourself, make some discoveries about yourself and stop running from the truth. Letting go, see, that's in the reverse. Letting go of old ways of being, coming into your higher self. Yeah, higher self. Commitment in the reverse, increase, gratitude, everything's in the reverse. Travel, hidden motivations. Yeah, so you're going on a journey. Behind a mask, decrease. Yeah, there's nothing else coming through. That's it. Spirit's like, no, not telling you anymore. So there you go, dear masculine. And for the feminine watching, this could be happening within you as well, right? So we can go through the healings within us. You know, the feminine too heals the inner masculine, feels and heals those masculine energies, or might go through those situations. It's predominantly, right, if we're feminine, we're predominantly moving through that feminine awakening, but we do feel, and I do feel and go through those aspects within the masculine awakening as well, all right? Because we're coming into inner union of those energies and we have to balance that out and come into that discovery of where we've been wounded and outsourcing to another what we need to find within ourselves to be in balance, all right? It doesn't mean that we don't need someone else or want someone else or want to be in connection with, for a woman, be in connection with a man. But when we come from a place of wholeness, when we've integrated that within us, so when we come from a place of unified wholeness within us, and we're not reaching out to somebody else and disowning our own power, giving our power away, that's when magic happens in connections, because you're in a healthy, balanced union then. So when a man is not looking for feminine energy outside of himself, it doesn't mean that he doesn't receive that, right? And doesn't need that. But when he feels okay in his own energy and he doesn't feel like he's missing something, he's not going to drain that from the women he's in connection with. And the same with the feminine. When the feminine has integrated those aspects within herself and she feels solid and stable within that and has done that work, she can rely on her inner masculine energy or those inner masculine traits. She doesn't have to outsource that to someone else. So when she's in connection with a partner, she's not going to go, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Okay, she's going to be like, well, you're going through something, or you're just not in that place at the moment, and I'm good, I'm okay. Right? When we are whole within ourselves, we do not then go into attachment in relationships and drain the other of their energy, because we are whole within ourselves. So masculine, I didn't even get any tarot for. I don't feel I need to. I might just finish this off with, for feminine, appearances, free will, and clever. Not all is as it seems for divine feminine. Not all is as it seems, okay? Free will and clever. So appearances, that's what I just heard. Not all is as it seems, all right? Free will and clever. Fox energy, okay? So being smart. Breaking out of your limitations, breaking out of limited mindset, okay? What else for the feminine? Can't even make that up. Look at that. Limitless. See? Limitless. And look at that orb. Look at that light being in there. In among those dandelions. Look at the light. Okay, there's the support. There's the help. That's magic. Okay, free will, clever, and poise. Okay, limitless and poise. So bringing yourself into this position of self-assuredness, self-confidence, feeling grounded and supported within yourself, like that energy of I'm grounded, connected, in alignment. That's an energy of, yeah, alignment. I'm holding myself in this alignment. Yeah. You, divine feminine, you coming into your power. Okay. Not all is as it seems. Break out of the paradigm, the old paradigm. It's really gotten quite, it's really gone too far with all of the polarity teachings and the conservative mindset, and especially in, like, you've got the movement, like the movements like crunchy mum movements, and like all the truther movement seems to have moved into this like Christianity's big now. Like there's nothing wrong with that, all right? You experience God how you want to. You can't, the thing is, when we are working with the sacred feminine and reclaiming the sacred feminine, there's no room for religion in that, right? And the thing is, with a lot of these movements, you've got a lot of women and men talking about, you know, masculinity and femininity, and looking at it through a context of Christianity and polarity teachings and very traditional conservative values, and thinking that they're moving into a new paradigm and that's the future and that's how we have to build. But that's not necessarily the case, and that's what these higher divine counterparts are here to break through, to break that down. Okay, so breaking out of that, what we've always known, or what is, you know, like the path that is there to be seen, that we can, you know, reclaim again and go back to how things were. But that's it. It's not like that. This is a whole new paradigm. Divine union and higher relationships, higher relating, the union of masculine and feminine. These new unions now are completely, we've never seen that before. Okay, we might know it on a soul level, right? But we haven't seen it in our lifetimes or in written history. Okay, it's all in hidden history. So I hope that makes sense. Let's have a look at divine masculine. He's got a whole lot of energy spilling out. Intimacy. So dealing with some issues around that, some attachment around that, lust, the attachment to the energy of the womb, right? But signs, there's synchronicities around that, dreams, message. They're blocking their intuition. Messages in the reverse, right? So signs coming in, but message in the reverse. Okay, not listening, not wanting to listen. Blues, roadblock, friendship, everything in the reverse. Soulmates, reverse. Spring, you're not listening. Masculine is not listening. He's distracting himself. He's busy, he's fragmented. Deeply distressed at not having that energy to sustain him. Imprisoned, self-made prison, imprisoned in belief structures, thoughts. Hopelessly devoted to the feminine, but trapped in a mindset. Yeah, okay. And this intimacy, there's lust-based ways of relating that have felt so normal, and there's a dependency on that. Yeah, masculine energy in the reverse, right? Harmony in the reverse. Okay, but then learning how to come in steady. There's a white horse. Look at that. That's what you want to see, divine feminine, don't you? We've been through that. We're not falling for the white horse thing again. But divine masculine, this is like a Knight of Cups energy. So a Knight of Pentacles energy, sorry. Learning how to come in steady, stable. Learning how to be in stability. A lot of energies in the reverse here. Like everything's coming out in the reverse, but what came out in the upright? Last. Okay, so where are you drawing your energy from, Divine Masculine? If you can't find your own energy within yourself and you need that energy to sustain you, that's where the shift has to occur. Okay, settling. Are you going to settle for that as your foundation? Okay, and when you do, you'll find that your glass, the thing is, your glass is pretty empty, isn't it? Okay, so it's like, oh, okay, well, I've got some in my glass here, but there's not much. Am I going to settle for that, or am I going to go for an overflowing cup? So there's a mirroring occurring here, right? The feminine is mirroring to you. The feminine is mirroring to you something that you do not want to see. He has got that mirror there and he doesn't want to look at it. Okay, I'm giving you the hard word here, masculine, whoever is watching. Feminine, let me know in the comments what you thinking, feeling, what your experience is. Youthful, communication, ghost, winter. Yeah, see, so many energies in the reverse, just stuck energy. Find your inner boy and spend time with him. Okay, find some things that you love doing that take you into that energy of being present and within yourself. Communication, even sitting with yourself and writing things down, or journaling, or even just in internal dialogue, sitting, you know, just sitting in quiet and just in an internal dialogue within yourself. This is going to bring you back into your energy. Back into your energy. Okay, that's you. See, Divine Masculine, bring you back into this empowered energy. All right, stop escaping yourself. It's in the reverse, so that you can be proud of who you are rather than running from yourself. Rejection, vulnerability, yeah, sexual polarity in the reverse, destiny in the reverse, masculine energy in the reverse, nurture in the reverse, patience in the reverse. Everything. See, find your loyalty, right? What are you loyal to? Who are you loyal to? Where's your energy going? Where do your loyalties lie? Okay, figure out where to put your energy. Your first loyalty should be to yourself. That's for feminine and masculine. So let's close it out now with, ooh, let's just close it out with some tarot, shall we? Quickly. So final message for the feminine, please. Firstly, ladies first, final message for the feminine. I'm tired after this reading. Final message for the feminine, please. The Hanged Man. Okay, so feminine, just sitting, just sit. Okay, there's nothing you can do at the moment. You're just sitting in your energy. Okay, reflecting, kind of in that void space, but just getting your energy back. Okay, there's nothing for you to do. I mean, you have to take action on some things, but it's not urgent. All right, it's not urgent. So just Hanged Man. That's okay. That's okay. That's like a just looking at things from different angles to just let things play out. Spirits put you in time out for you to heal and bring you your alignment. Okay, so Divine Masculine, the High Priestess. So this is spirit stepping in, the spirit world stepping in. You might be getting a lot of dream communication, synchronicity, Spirit will put you on your ass if you don't listen. That's the thing. So there's divine order coming in. But yeah, the High Priestess, they're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to bring you into balance. They're trying to bring you guidance, okay? But that can only come through your inner world. So if you're disconnected from that inner world, you're not going to be connected to Spirit, okay? And the thing is, if Spirit's trying to put you in alignment and put you on a destined path, or you know, get you through cycles and out of cycles, and you're not listening, you're going to get hammered. You're going to get hammered. Like, your health will be, like everything in your reality will just be block, chaos. Yeah, see, Tower. And that's the third energy. That's in between, right? So this is masculine and feminine. Look at the Tower for the feminine. When you look at it, right, the Tower for the feminine is, I've learned the lesson and now I'm just in the Hanged Man reflecting on it before I move forward, because I've closed out my karma, I've got a new foundation, right? So that's the Tower for the feminine. It's not brutal because she's been through, you know, the healing and the closing out the cycles and just shifting into new ways of doing things, new ways of relating, and new belief structures and learning, growing, right? The Tower for the masculine who's not listening is like, it's a different energy. When I tune into it, when I tap into it, it's chaos. It's the tower falling and in flames, and you know, like people are falling out of the building, and it's rocking your foundation, right? Different energy. But to bring you into this, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, to bring you into your satisfaction, your contentment, what you wish for. Okay, but the Tower's got to fall. Tower's got to fall. You got to work with Three of Pentacles. Got to learn to work with and value others who are not like you. Value everybody's position and everybody's inherent talents, gifts, predisposition, valuing the teaching of others, valuing what others can show you and teach you that you haven't learned within yourself. So that Three of Pentacles is like learning to be equal, but valuing the differences, right? And knowing that we can all learn from each other, right? The Three of Pentacles, I like to see it as the original in the Rider-Waite. They're building a cathedral, right? And there's different energies there. There's different people there. So you've got a multidisciplinary team, right? Building this incredible structure, okay? And then you have, so these multidisciplinary team are made up of what we say, like we look at it, if we look at it through a hierarchical lens, you've got like the architects and the finances and the, you know, the higher level, those kind of energies. And then you have what we view as the lower level on the ground people, like say scaffolders or, you know, laborers, right? The thing is, everybody is just as important as each other. If we look at it through a hierarchical lens, what we realize is that we devalue, and this is how we're taught to operate in the world, and this is the patriarchal and capitalistic way of looking at things, is learning how to value everybody's contribution, and learning how to, or seeing that we can actually learn from others no matter where we are in life, or no matter what our position is. If we see ourselves as superior to others, or more important, or our work is more valuable than others because of whatever, whether it's paid and theirs is not, or whatever, okay? And this has been playing out between the masculine and the feminine, where the masculine have been moving through this programming that men's work, or masculine's work in the world as paid in this capitalistic society, it's more important and takes precedence over the women's work, the feminine's work. Okay, we have to break out of that, right? So that's what this Three of Pentacles is showing us and teaching us, that we can learn from others, and others' work is just as valuable as ours. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening to this very long reading. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. I hope that's been valuable to you. Ground, rest. If you are closing out contracts, if things are realigning for you, all you can do is move through the healing and, you know, be in alignment. Put your energy where it feels good. Put your energy where it's nurtured, where you can regulate your nervous system. And if things are not moving forward or working for you, it means that there is inner work to be done. It means that there is alignment to be had. So we can't hold on to things that are not for us. We can't try and make things move forward if we're not in the frequency that we need to be in to move forward in that. So it's important that, you know, we're not reaching out to others to try and give us the things that we are wanting to bring in for ourselves. We have to come into that alignment within ourselves. So that's you, Divine Femme, in that alignment and feeling okay, feeling good, getting your energy back and just being in your power. And this is part of the greater collective awakening around, you know, reclaiming that sacred feminine power and understanding that, you know, we never were less than. We never needed 111 as I said that. You know, we never needed to give our power away for survival. Yeah, we never needed to, you know, it's been centuries of oppression and programming, patriarchal programming, that has led us to this point where we were believing that we had to stay in places that made us feel small, that drained our spirit, that dimmed our light, where we overgave, where we were expected to give more than we received on an energetic level, on an emotional level. Okay, so this is where the balancing is occurring, and those cycles are now closing out, and women are stepping into, you know, a whole new paradigm, and the masculine is too. So, you know, those contracts are going to realign as they realign, but they must realign to a higher vibrational place for us to build, truly build solid, stable foundations that are not going to fall, not going to be, you know, the energy when it's right and aligned in those higher unions. They're safe from outside influences. They're safe from infiltrators, and you attract in communities that align with the energy of that union. And that is what the twin flame journey is about. Okay, so I don't like using the label twin flame, but higher divine counterparts, that's what higher divine counterparts are here to do. Not here to come into connection and live out some 3D fucking, you know, like how it's always been and men do this and women do that. It's a whole new paradigm, and it's far beyond that connection and that family. It's about the community, and it's about humanity and the grid and leadership, and coming into a new way of living and teaching that in the world. Yeah, to show people how to feel and how to relate and how to be in a more balanced and reciprocal and harmonious way of being, and to teach people how to create from that. Teach people, inspire people, teach people how to create from that place of stability and security as we head into, you know, as we're in a world where so easily things can be taken from us. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Things are about to go down where, you know, we've got to be a bit more stable and secure, and, you know, work with people and work in a way that, you know, has us protecting ourselves from those influences, and you know, it keeps things running stable and in an equal and harmonious way. Oh, I am really tired. I can't bring through any more around that. I hope that's made sense. Big, big love to you all. I hope you're moving through these healings with grace, and, you know, just sending you all love, whether you're in the feminine space, feminine healing, or whether you're a masculine watching. I'm sending you so much love. It's unconditional. It's unconditional. The feminine heart, the feminine womb, you know, we've been at war. So from the collective feminine to the collective masculine, we love you and we honor you. We've hurt each other a lot. We've hurt each other a lot. And it's time for that to stop. It's time to break that cycle and heal and, you know, come back together whole. So big, big love.